guys, my name is Anna. Welcome to our Gourmology channel. If you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to do so because we have a lot of exciting videos coming your way. To be making stuffed sweet plantains, also known as plátano maduro. We're going to be stuffing them with shrimp today, but you can do it with ground beef if you want just cheese. You can do chicken, literally whatever you want with these. And then we're going to finish it off with some pepper jack cheese. So a couple of things that you're going to want to have ready to make this dish are some sharp knives. You can have a grater if you're going to do a block of pepper jack cheese. If not, you can also buy pepper jack cheese grated for you. As far as cooking, we're going to need a saute pan to saute our shrimp. And then we're also going to need a saute pan that's deep enough for about 2 cups of oil because we want to fry our plantains in, something that's deep enough but it doesn't have to be a deep fryer. One thing that you want to keep in mind when you are cooking is that instead of washing your cutting board 2 times, we're going to do our vegetables first before we do our shrimp. This way you could toss the whole cutting board after the shrimp is done. So we're going to prep. In cooking we call it mise en place. Basically, it makes your life a lot easier when everything is ready and then all you have to do is throw it into the pan. We're going to dice up a red bell pepper. You don't need the whole pepper, but you can just toss it to the side. They last a while. Just wrap them in some plastic and then you could keep them in the fridge for next time you cook. Also, something people get a little nervous with is sharp knives. I don't really get why, but so that you know, the sharper your knife is, the less chances you have of cutting yourself. If you're struggling with a dull knife, you're gonna end up slicing your finger off. Next thing we're gonna do is chop up some cilantro. It's really all about fresh ingredients. If you have some fresh herbs in there, you will be able to tell the difference. Also, when you're cutting up cilantro, you want to make sure that 1, the cilantro is dry, and 2, your cutting board is dry, because if not, it's going to kind of get all pasty all over your cutting board. I already pre-cut a bunch of cilantro. This way we don't have to do so much right now. Later. And then also what we're not going to do now, we're also going to need some ground up garlic or minced garlic. You can buy that at your local supermarket already minced for you. I like to buy a whole big container of garlic and then I stick it in the food processor and you're going to get a really fine consistency. This way you're not chewing on garlic throughout your meal. And again, you could do this one time, stick it in your fridge, it'll last like 2-3 weeks. Alright, so now for our last part of the prep as far as the veggies go before we start the shrimp, we have our plátano maduro. So it's sweet plantains. You're going to take each one and slice it right at the edge. Then we're going to take our knife and we're going to cut a line, not all the way through, just the tip so that we could get the skin. Slice that and you're gonna just stick your finger in here and pull back on the skin. So these are a lot easier to peel than the green plantains. And being for this recipe, we're actually gonna leave them whole and then we'll slice them after we fry them. So we're just gonna do that with the rest of our plantains so that they are all good and ready to go. So while we are getting ready to start slicing up our shrimp, we're gonna just turn our pan of oil on in the background so that it can start heating up and we'll be ready to fry our plantains so that we're not wasting a little bit too much time. So now we have our shrimp. You can buy any raw shrimp, whether you buy fresh or frozen, as long as it's defrosted. you're good to go. I personally like to buy them deveined already, save a little time. These have details on them, but it's an easy fix. You're just gonna go right ahead, and if you pinch the bottom and pull down, you won't lose any of the shrimp. Just pull the tails right off because we are gonna be chopping them up to saute them for our recipe. Now that we are all done with our prep, our oil should be hot at this point. You could just stick in the end of the plantain, just dip the edge of it in there, and you should be able to hear a sizzle. So that's when we're going to put our plantains in. Give it about maybe 2-3 minutes on each side. So now you could kind of see that the edges are starting to turn brown. Good sign of when we're ready to flip. Also, the sweeter the plantains are, the faster they will burn. So you want to keep your oil on a medium to high heat. And that is perfect the way it just came out. We're going to do the same thing for the other side. So now when both sides look about the same, we're just going to put them back on our board, finish frying the rest of the plantains, and then we're done with the oil and we could saute the shrimp. So now for our shrimp, we have another saute pan. We're gonna drizzle some olive oil, canola oil, just to throw down the diced red peppers that we did earlier. So we're gonna give these about a minute or so, because they are going to cook more with the shrimp. Garlic that we're going to add into it, I'm going to say you're going to do about a tablespoon of garlic. I happen to love garlic. About another minute, you already smell it. One thing I always say I wish that we could do is check scents, you know. I'm always cooking and the house smells amazing. You could send everything else, but if you could send what your kitchen smells like, it'll tell you. Let it saute till our garlic is starting to turn golden brown. Then we are going to add in our chopped up shrimp. Shrimp does really cook quickly, so this is a really great option after work. You want something quick but hearty. So you have everything mixed up. Now we're gonna season with a little bit of salt to taste, depending if you're sensitive with the salt or not. Then we're gonna sprinkle some black pepper right on top. Give that a little toss. You could keep your fire on pretty high for this point because shrimp does cook fast. We don't need it slow cooking. And then we're gonna just throw some cilantro on top. Another tablespoon. So once this has been sauteing for about 8 to 10 minutes, we're gonna do a little scoop of tomato paste, or if you have tomato sauce, it's even better. I happen to have tomato paste, just so that we can make a little sauce for it so that when you put it in the plantains, it's not dry. A splash of water. Loosen things up, mix it up together, and let it continue to saute. So once it starts to simmer, your sauce is going to thicken up a little bit. And this is it. You're good to go. Time to stuff the plantains. So now that we have everything ready, our plantains are cooked, our shrimp is ready, and we have our pepper jack cheese waiting to go. You're going to make sure that you want to turn on the broiler in your oven. This way we can melt the cheese on top of it, which happens pretty quickly. So we're going to take our plantains, arch side up, and we're just going to stick our knife through the top. Not cutting all the way through. This way it can still hold the shrimp without breaking apart. And just spread it open a little bit. We're going to repeat that with the rest. Once all the plantains are cut open, we're going to stuff each one with some shrimp. See why we wanted to chop them up? This way you could kind of get a bite with every bite that you take. All right. So now we're just going to take our pepper jack cheese. Now, if you don't like the spice, it's also not a big deal. You could do mozzarella, you can do cheddar, whatever you like. We'll grate it right on top. Or you could do it without cheese if you don't want cheese on there at all. We are good to go into the oven. Again, you stick your broiler on high just to melt the cheese that's right on top. I would keep an eye on it because it does happen fairly quickly. So after about 3 minutes, we're going to have this perfection.